Good morning. Today I wanted to take a moment to sort of give you an idea of how Bear Woods Wildlife Sanctuary, the studio itself, works and how I put it together. So I'm on the back porch, and this is where I normally sit when I'm photographing, and I'll flip the camera around in a minute to show you the situation or the view that I have and where I shoot from. But I want to take time because I get a lot of questions on how I get the birds to pose in these particular positions, how I get them to isolate it in one area, how I've done these different things. So I'm going to take a moment just to show you sort of a behind the scenes. So bear with me. I'm going to turn the camera around here in just a second, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is the view from the back porch, and this is where I'm sitting and the view that I actually get. So as I step forward a little bit, you'll notice that there's 3 poles. There's one over here, one there, and one over there. And those are the main places that the birds land. You can see that I've got a squirrel, I've got a bluebird in the feeder right now. So let me give you a little bit of a tour out here. Here's the 3 chairs, of course, in the backyard, the bluebird house. So what I've done is with these posts, you can see I go along the side of the road, and I will find just a good stick, and I typically try to find one that is somewhere around 6 to 8 feet long, and then I'll cut it down to size when I get here. And I simply have driven in these T-posts into the ground, and then I just simply take wire and I attach the T-post to the or the post to the T-post. And the same thing, just going through the woods, finding some nice gnarly trees, either in the woods or on the side of the road. And again, you can just see a really good view of the T-posts and how I connect them here. And one of the hard parts here is, with squirrels, they want to get to the feeder, so you have to try to make it a good distance between the feeder and the post. Typically about 6-7 feet is where I work at. And you can see this is just in the middle of the garden. I get some really, really neat, gnarly trees. And you can sort of see behind this how much space I've got between my post and the trees behind it. And that's to give it that separation. I've got a good 4 to 5 feet of separation between the crepe myrtles and the post here. So it gives it a nice view to separate the foreground and the background. Gives it that nice smooth palette of color. The distance from my porch to one of these posts is probably 15 feet. The nearest post is about 8 feet away, which is just outside of the minimum focusing distance of my camera and the lens. These are where eventually all the action happens, though, in these crepe myrtles here. The crepe myrtles flower, the bugs get into them. That's where the warblers come in, and the warblers will feed on the insects that are inside of those. They wouldn't come in if it's not for all the birds that are coming in and drawing them in. So, it's a little bit of I'm not drawing them to the feeders, I'm drawing other birds into the feeders. They follow them in, they explore, they find the insects. The flowers are actually what brings like the scarlet tanagers, summer tanagers, and stuff like that in. And that's why they come in to get the insects as well. But they have to discover it, and that's when they follow the birds like the chickadees in. That's the whole key is drawing other birds in to get them. And of course I put some suet out for the woodpeckers. And a neat little thing here that I'll try to flip around over here to show real quick is inside of these little knot holes in the tree, I will fill those with suet as well. And that helps to get the woodpeckers in there and gives them a natural setting. And right now with the baby woodpeckers and everything that are out here, it really works well to feed them. They can get a mouthful of suet, take it up to the baby. So that's sort of the behind the scenes look as to the post. Let's spin this around here for just a second. Try to spin it around. Okay, So you can see that's the sort of the behind the scenes, how I built it, what attracts the birds and everything else to the backyard. Once they're there, I just simply use my lens and the camera, and I set up and just sit and wait for them. Get a cup of coffee. I get my notebook out because I keep a daily count of the birds that I get. I put them onto the eBird reporting sites and post those. But this is the Bear Woods Wildlife Sanctuary. This is how we put it together. This is how it works. Very simple to do, and I think that you could do it in your backyard or just on a back porch even. Just giving some separation between your post, your studio, and the background. Gives you a nice palette of color, and it works really well. So I think that it's easy to do. Again, some keys of doing this are to become more natural and native friendly. Plant native flowers when you can. Get rid of pesticides. Welcome the bugs in a little bit. Because the birds are here to eat the bugs, and without the bugs, they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to go feed on something else. So, because like I said, warblers aren't seed feeders necessarily. They're going to get the insects, and same with the tanagers and everything else. So you've got to get the insects in, give them a place to pose, give them a place to pause and investigate the thing, and while they do, that's when you get your pictures. So hope you've enjoyed this little tour. Just a quick video again to show you, because I get a lot of questions on how I'm attaching these posts or how I'm getting the posts to stand there. And again, what I'll do is I'll rotate out these posts as much as I can and get a fresh look, so it always looks a little bit different. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll put some pictures in this video while we're chatting as to some of the birds in the backyard. I'd love for you to do it. If you have any questions, please leave that in the comment, email me, whatever, at bearwoodsphoto@gmail.com. And if you get a chance, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you again for taking the time. Bye.